Okay, let's talk about Ridley. Yeah, this fight is crazy. We're doing a map rando mentor tournament right now, and I've been seeing, a lot of people. I've been seeing a lot of people struggle with this fight, as you do with this fight. This guy's nasty. So I wanted to put this together to kind of give people some tips and pointers for how to at least survive the fight, because that's like the most important thing. In a speed run, you care about killing him fast. In a randomizer, you kind of just care about killing him first try. If you can get it first try, that's better than a fast second try. So I'm gonna try to go over most of the things here. We won't spend too long on the opening, but I will go over a few things, partly because I barely understand the opening, and partly because it's just really complicated and not all that necessary to know everything. Actually, let's talk first about Ridley's AI and things that alter his behavior that you might not expect. So my understanding, far from comprehensive, but I understand a decent bit about this fight. So my understanding is there's two main things that Samus does that alter Ridley's behavior. First off, Samus's height matters. So if I'm standing on the ground, you might get one behavior, but if I jump, you might get another behavior. Because he's checking for a Y coordinate is what he's actually checking for. So it's like, if I do that, he doesn't care. But if I jump like past the door frame, so right around here, then that might change what he does. The other thing is spin jumping, which when you're doing the fight this way, it might feel a little bit weird that spin jumping would do anything. But the way I think about it is the devs expected you to always have screw attack before reaching Ridley. So Ridley just assumes you have screw attack, so that's gonna change how he does certain things. So there's certain parts of his AI that spin jumping will just mess with because he's acting as if you have screw attack even if you don't. Okay, so with that in mind, opener. First thing is just get to the corner of this platform and stand here. What I've noticed, I think this might be 100% consistent. It's very close to if it's not. If you just stand on the corner and do nothing, he will go immediately into a pogo. Every time. Like here. Stand there. He goes up left, and pogo. In the 10 minutes I've been testing this for, he's done this every time. So that's step one of understanding the opener. So you can do that, and then you'll notice if instead I jump here, he might still go straight into the pogo. He might stall a bit like he did there, deciding what to do next. And then he might, let's see if he'll do it. He might swoop around to the top like that. Yeah. So basically, if you jump during the opener from this position, he will pick from like one of three things, either immediate pogo, or he'll stall at the top for a little bit and then go into a pogo, or he'll loop around the top and come back down and then go into a pogo. So that's a helpful way of understanding what he does in the opener. So one thing you can do this, and then I know he's gonna do that. Because this is something Nito taught me with this specific opener, is like starting with supers from the corner and jumping with him. Because then he only has three options, and those three options, you're still safe if you just stand right here. So no matter what I do, no matter what he does, I'm safe until he picks his next action. So this is a very good and strong and consistent opener if you can get used to it. So you can do like 3 and 3 and then just wait for his next move and go from there. So that's, to me, I found that to be the most reliable opener. Just stand on this corner, take a couple shots. Either if you want the pogo, just stand still. If you're okay with trying for other options, then you jump when he goes up, so you can get more damage in. Because if I just stand here, I can do 1, 2, 3, 4. You can get a fifth one in there, but that's all you can get in the opener. But if you can jump with him, you can do, I got 8 supers in right there. That's like almost a third of his health immediately at the beginning of the fight. So like that opener is incredibly powerful if you can learn it. I will say about this opener, if you don't have high jump, then you can only get 7 instead of 8 because you can't quite follow him up to the top of the screen. So if I do this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, now he's off screen. That 7th one might have hit. I'm not actually sure. How precise is it being on the corner? I don't think it's very precise. Also, hi, Apel. How's it going? Like, I think if you do the moonwalk back and turn around, that's probably safest. Because, like, if you scoot too far to the left, there's a chance he might bump into you, I think. But I think as far as his AI, you can be, like, here probably. And it probably still works. Yeah, so he went straight into the pogo there. Let me try this. Jump with him, see what he does. Yeah, I don't think like being precisely on the corner is super important. Again, I don't have comprehensive knowledge on this. It's just that standing at the far edge of the corner is safer. Did he just make me a liar? Did I jump there? I don't remember. Yeah, it's safe to assume nothing is 100% with Ridley. I might have jumped there, I'm not sure. But like, you can get something that works 99% of the time, and then for some reason it just feels like it doesn't work. Usually that's where like something you did different and didn't realize it, but I don't know, there might just be some shenanigans there where he will just do something different because he feels like it. Okay, so that's most of the opener. The other thing I will say is if you look at the AI chart that he has, there's a quirk of it where his health changes what he will choose. So if you've done less than 3,600 damage, if you've done less than that, his AI will behave one way, meaning he will always pick Pogos. Once you get past that threshold, he unlocks the Swoops, so he'll pick between those two. So like, if I just do this, I only hit him with 5 supers, I know the move he's gonna pick after this is a Pogo. Right there. Always a Pogo, 100% of the time. If you get 6 supers or more, he has a chance of picking a Swoop instead. So like, for reliability, you might just wanna only do 5 supers there, so you know what's gonna happen next. But if you know the full fight, it's not usually worth skipping the DPS just to force a Pogo. But that's a thing you can do for like safety in the fight. Speaking of Pogos and Swoops, once you get past the opener, Ridley really only has 2 moves. He has the Pogo and he has a Swoop. There's a third move called the Lunge, but that always comes after the Swoop, so you can kind of group it in with the Swoop itself. So first off, I guess we'll talk about the Pogo since that's what he just defaults to. And it's usually the first thing people learn to get damage in on. So the first thing is, if I stand on the corner of this, let me actually get a better save state. So get here, I am on the last pixel of the platform right now. So if I stand here, he's going to hit me. This is the part most people probably know, but I'm gonna explain it anyways. So on this corner of the platform, he can still hit me with the Pogo. He can still grab me out of the Pogo. However, if I get to the left side and stand here, I'm completely safe. For whatever reason, the left side of the platform is different than the right side. So that's what you'll see a lot of speedrunners do. They'll do this to try to get over here, try to turn them around, and then get to this point. So they can just stand here and shoot straight up and get a lot of damage in. The mechanics of how you do that are where it gets weird, so we'll go one step at a time. First off, how do you get past him safely? The answer is just you roll under him while he's bouncing up. If you mistime it, you bump his tail like I just did there. So you have to like get used to the timing of the bounces and then wait till he's like going up to go under. Over time, you just get a feel for it. It might be helpful to like count it. So the 1, 2, 3, and like go a little bit after the 3 or the 2 or the whatever. It's like just count like when his tail touches the ground, just count those to get a feel for the rhythm, and then use that to help you time the roll under. There is another thing he can do. He's not doing it right now. That right there. I made it, but like you don't want that. When he pogos back, Even when you're like hearing speedrunners talk about Ridley, when you hear them talk about a back pogo, that's just, it sucks. Back pogos suck because you're trying to get under him, and if he goes backwards, he's just gonna catch you. So like, it's important to be able to react to like when he does a back pogo, so that when you see him going backwards, you stop. Again, there's a lot of intricacies to this fight. It's a lot that's happening all at once, but it's really important to not keep rolling when he does a back pogo, because we also do a manip to turn him around, but if he pogos back, even if you do make it under, you're not going to have enough time, or space rather, you're going to have enough space to get the turnaround, and you're just going to take a hit anyways, even if you did manage to roll under him safely. Okay, so that's how you get past the tail without getting hit. So you do this. Okay, we're over here, now what? He's going back, and now he's just going to hit me. So how do we get him to face the other direction? So like we talked about, there are two things that manipulate his AI. Jumping, as long as we jump above this door, he's checking for that Y position. As long as we jump high enough, and then the spin jump. I don't quite know the mechanics of why this manip works, but I can tell you what you have to do to make it work. So what we do is we roll under, and then on the other side, we jump and spin break. We got to make sure we're jumping, again, past like the top of the door frame. That's your target. You want to jump at least that high, and then break spin when you're up there. That's the typical manip. You don't have to face around toward him. I do that just to get an extra shot in, so I'll do something like this, and then charge, so I get just a little extra DPS as I'm going through the fight. But you absolutely don't have to do that. You can just do this. Like that. Sometimes when you're doing this, the manip will just fail. Yeah, sometimes that happens. You saw me do the jump and the spin break and it didn't work. The reason is because the up pogo and the down pogo are two different states of Ridley's AI. So as he's going up, he's checking for one thing. As he's going down, he's checking for another. The point is that manip we do to make him turn around only works when he's on the way up. When he's on the way down, he just cares about getting to the ground and then switching to the next stage of his AI where he comes back up. So, like, doing the spin jump manip works probably like 80% of the time, but there is a window of timing there where you can be jumping and the entire time you're above that Y coordinate of the door frame, he's moving down. So because he's moving down, he doesn't check for the spin jump or the Y coordinate or whatever, so he doesn't care, so he's just going to keep facing the direction he's facing. So my fix for that is I watch the timing of him and I try to jump with him. So like I watch, again, if you're counting his tail bounces, 1, 2. So like I see when he's jumping, or I see when he's pogoing, and I jump the second the tail touches the ground, so that Ridley and me are both moving up at the same time. And because we're both moving up at the same time, that all but guarantees the manip will work. And again, Ridley fight is complicated. There's a lot to pay attention to, but like just trying to get the information out there so that like when things aren't working for you, you can kind of identify what's going wrong and work to fix it. I will say one more thing. If you have Moonwalk on, it's pretty important to turn around. This will probably show up later in the video. It's important to be facing, to find a place where you can face this direction, because right there, when he stops and turns around at the end of a pogo cycle, if you're facing this direction, you need to turn to the right really quickly, and if you're holding charge, then it just gets really awkward. So yeah, like, it worked there, but like, especially when Ridley's moving faster, the time it takes to like release the shot or like jump to turn around, whatever, the time it takes to turn around with Moonwalk on can really get you screwed over and get you hit like 3 or 4 times if you're not careful. So what I do for this, I crouch, I turn around and aim up while I'm charging. Other people will like try to get turned around before they get to the edge and just moonwalk backwards like that. So whatever works for you to like get turned around during that pogo is gonna help you a lot. So like they'll do this like that. And then yeah, you see I saw he was canceling the pogo, so I just knew to run to the right. Whereas, again, if I was facing this direction while holding a charge, turning around and running to the right would have been a bit slower, and I could have gotten hit for it. Okay, so next up, we're gonna talk about swoops. That one. Okay, I think that does it. So yeah, now we have his RNG set to swoop. So now he's just always gonna do that swoop. So one thing to note, if you manage to get him on the left side, manip him to here, in my experience, he's always gonna go up to the right for the swoop. So you don't have to like guess at where he's going. If he starts here and then he goes into a swoop, he's always gonna be going up to the right. Which makes it much easier to predict and like figure out what to do next. Because what I've seen some people do is like, they'll assume he's going up left, so they'll wall jump up here, and then they're just wall jumping into Ridley, which kind of sucks. So yeah, this helps you know where he's gonna swoop from. I also, just for safety, I just like to wall jump up here so I can see the timing. You can like learn the timing and like do some stuff like this. Okay, I jump up, okay, there's that, and now I try to time the jump and then go over him, but like that's risky. So if your objective is to just survive the fight, you don't really care about being fast, I would recommend learning how to like wall jump up here so you can see what he's doing. Like that. But yeah, so like when he swoops, go up, see what he's doing, and then jump over as he comes down, right? Okay, so that's the swoop. And then he does this. This I think is the thing most people like don't understand or just aren't used to. But the thing about the swoops and pogos, after Ridley does a swoop, he will pretty much always do a lunge right after the swoop. So he will go up to top right, swoop across to the left, and then from there he'll do what's called a lunge. The tricky part is the lunge looks like a swoop, but it's not. So let me show you what happens. Like what I'll see people do is they might get over the swoop or they might go under it, and then they're trying to shoot, trying to get damage in, and he's just chasing me. I'm trying to run away from him, and he's just chasing me across the platform, and I just take a hit because he's following me and I can't get away from him. So like if I do this, he's chasing me. Ridley making me a liar again. Like I said, you can have something work like 90% of the time, and just, yeah, okay, so you have it right there. So like here with the swoop, he's about to swoop now. I can kind of maybe get away. He'll hit me maybe once and it's fine. But now he's gonna lunge next, and like, okay, so that's the swoop, and now he's gonna lunge, and he's just following me across the screen, and it's like I'm trying to shoot him, trying to damage him, whatever, and he just doesn't leave me alone. But like we said at the beginning, Ridley pays attention to your spin jump because he assumes you have screw attack. So he can't grab a screw attack. So what you can do, he's chasing me, spin jump, he canceled that. It was hard to tell, but like he canceled out of the grab and just left. So that's something we can do to, again, make this fight a bit safer. Okay, so he swooped, and now I know the lunge is coming, so I just spin jump, and now he's just hovering there for a second. And now he's gonna pick another swoop. It's better to like wait till he started the swoop, because he hovers a bit longer before picking the next move. It's like right there. Okay, that was still a bit early. So now I know he's coming for a lunge. Wait till he's on screen, then hover, and then I can get like 5 supers in, just because I canceled the lunge. And like, okay, so he's about to swoop. Now he's gonna lunge, spin jump, and just unload. You do have to be careful with your aim, obviously, but so he swooped again. Okay, went into a pogo that time. Yeah, it's like I said, it's kind of always, but not really always. Sometimes you do things that mess with his AI when you don't realize, and sometimes he just decides, I don't want to do that. But yeah, like pretty reliably, he swoops, he lunges, spin jump, shoot him with a couple supers, he's swooping again. Now he's gonna lunge in a second. Okay, that was another swoop. Now the lunge. And again, sometimes like you'll spin jump so early, you don't even see the lunge, so it can feel like he swoops twice in a row, because he does, but he does that because you canceled the lunge early. Now, there's the lunge. Now he's gonna swoop again. I was early. So yeah, like, and again, this video is not so much about trying to get damage in. Once you get a rhythm for this, it gets a lot easier to get your charge shots in safely. He's dead, by the way. So, like, my recommendation would just be sit in the practice hack with Ridley and practice reacting to his pogos and swoops and practice dodging them so that you can survive. If you can survive for like 5 minutes without damaging him, you're doing great. Because then you can just pepper him with ammo in the middle of that 5 minutes in an actual fight and he'll eventually die. So just learning the patterns, knowing what he's doing, and getting your hands used to doing the actions it takes to dodge those is like 90% of what you need for the fight in map rando. Because again, a slow first try is better than a fast second try fight. So just getting to the point where you can consistently survive Ridley is like the most important thing. Right, so we've talked about the opening, we've talked a little bit about Ridley's AI, we've talked about pogos, we've talked about swoops and lunges. Now we need to talk about how to end the fight. So I'm gonna actually get back to the start of the fight, and we're gonna go through to where he's almost dead, and then we're gonna talk from there. This is like more advanced. Most of the time, when he's dead, you just want to roll into a morph ball and hope he grabs you safely. But there are things you can do to get grabbed safely without getting hit by the tail, which could clutch a fight out for you in some instances. So at least knowing about these is important, but I would say it's a lower priority to practice until you get all the other parts of the fight down pat. Okay, now's the pogo. This is a good spot. Okay, so here, he's one super away. So this is, I'm gonna show you what it looks like to end the fight in the pogo. Well, not like that. Yeah, this is the tricky part. If you're going for this and then he cancels the pogo midway through you trying to jump. So that's what it looks like when you end the fight in the pogo. So most of you probably know when Ridley's HP is 0, he will start trying to grab you and then he will grab you and then die, right? But if he's in the middle of attack, he won't go into the action of trying to grab you until he finishes the attack he's in. But you can force him to grab you in those attacks anyway. So I have 2 options I usually go for. During the pogo is probably the hardest, but it's still worth understanding. Because what'll happen sometimes, someone will do this and then they get grabbed like this. Oh, he must not be dead because he grabbed me and then he didn't die. But if you look up here, his HP is still 0. He's definitely dead. He just didn't grab me. So what gives? Like we talked about with the manip for the turnaround, his up pogo and his down pogo are 2 different actions of his AI. So if he grabs you during the down pogo, like this, he's not gonna die. He was on the way down. That's when I jumped into his claw and he didn't die. Oh, also, he wasn't dead. Okay, that one worked. Like right there. So if I'm just standing on the ground, sometimes he will just pogo low enough to grab me, but that doesn't work because the down pogo doesn't trigger the end of the fight. However, the up pogo does. So just like with manipulating his turnaround, I watch the timing of his bounces, so I wait till he's like, I will press the jump button when his tail touches the ground, essentially. And now he's dead. You also notice I took a hit there. So like if you're at low health, that can still be pretty risky. So the most reliable way I've found, I got this from Nito, to get the grab is to be standing on the corner, then jump and tap right to turn around. Because the turnaround like shifts my hitbox just enough right to get grabbed while I'm not like momentuming into his tail. Because if I try to do this, like there's a chance I'll just hit his tail. Like if I hold forward, it worked that time, but yeah, point being, face away, Shoot the super. Yeah, I'm doing badly still. So shoot the super, he's dead. Face away, turn around, get grabbed. Again, this is really tough. I wouldn't recommend learning this until you've learned the other parts of the fight, but it can save you a significant amount of health, or at least it helps you finish the fight more consistently. This is particularly good on suitless Ridleys, where it's just like, I'm taking heat damage, so if I wait for him to do his thing and try to grab me 7 times, I'm just gonna die to heat before he actually ends the fight. So that's how you do it during the pogo. The easiest one I found is actually during the swoop. So he does the swoop here. Now I know he's gonna lunge, right? He's gonna lunge and grab me every time. If I just stand still after the swoop, he's going to grab me. So what I like to do, if I'm counting, this works best if you're counting and you know what his health is. We can see it on the HUD there, so we know it's 600, so one more shot will kill him. Dude, that fireball. Okay, now he's going for the swoop, so I've dodged the swoop. And now I just aim up. Oh, I didn't give myself enough time to charge. Whoops. See, that works. Okay, we'll just do the super because it's faster than charging. But like, if I know he's gonna lunge at me, I just shoot up, get the kill shot as he's coming down. Grabs me safely every time. When I get grabbed in this sequence, I have never been hit by the tail before. Every time, just shoot up, you get grabbed. So he's at 600, I could land the kill shot before the grab, and it works every time. But you can also do it like if he, let's see if he'll swoop again. So if he does this, and then I get the kill shot there, same thing. Okay, now I got hit by the tail. So my theory is like his tail just gets more erratic after he's dead. Yeah, see there, he didn't hit me with his tail. So I think it's something like if he's dead before he tries to grab you, his tail will be more erratic. But if he's just in the middle of the lunge attack, he's not gonna hit you with his tail. So it's just, ideal solution is just land the kill shot as he's coming down to grab you. So like that to me is the ideal way to end the fight. If you can jump into the claw out of the pogo, that's another thing that can let you reliably end the fight quickly, instead of praying he doesn't do this shenanigans where he hits you with his tail 7 times. He was kind that time. So like if I kill him and then dodge, then he's just gonna so if I kill and dodge, he's gonna be doing this over and over. And that, you can see that tail gets very wild. And I guess he can still pogo out of that for some reason, even though he's dead. I thought he couldn't do that, but I guess he can. But yeah, now he's just gonna like be doing this over and over. You can see he's swinging his tail wildly. He's shooting fireballs. So like, if you can end the fight before that, it tends to be a lot safer. Because yeah, there's not really a reliable way to get grabbed after he's like dead and you didn't get grabbed immediately. Best I can say for this is just morph and then try to watch where he's targeting as he's coming down. Maybe dodge the tail and then climb into the claw. But like, if you move too much, he's just gonna miss and then you're gonna take a body hit. So like, it's easiest if you can just like sit still, but also you just kind of have to watch, because sometimes he'll be aiming weird and you have to find the claw. There's a lot. It's just a lot. Like here. Like a lot of times if you just morph and sit still, he will just grab you, but sometimes he missed like that. So like, I've learned I have to like watch, and like if it looks like he's gonna go slightly left, I just tap left a little bit to make sure I end up directly under his claw. But yeah, it's just a hard adjustment to make. See there, I saw it looked like it was gonna be a bit left, so I just tapped left to roll slightly before I got grabbed. But yeah, I'm gonna try to edit that down later to make it sensible and watchable. But hopefully that helps a lot of people at least understand the fight better, so you know what to do, like what things to work on in the practice hack, and like if he's misbehaving in ways that are catching you off guard, maybe this will help you understand why. But yeah, that's gonna do it for me for this one. We'll do Dragon next, I think. Yeah, I think we have time for that. If I can get my thoughts together for it. But yeah, anyway, thanks for watching. See ya.